Hello everyone, welcome to Galveston, Texas. We often see the question, what is there to do in Galveston before my cruise? The short answer is, a lot. Today we're going to take you along on our 2-night stay in Galveston. This video is in no way a comprehensive video of Galveston, so be sure and let us know if you would like to know more. Galveston was named after the 18th century Spanish military and political leader Bernardo de Galvez. In the late 1800s, Galveston was known as the playground of the South, and today it is a popular tourist destination. One of our favorite restaurants in Galveston is Jimmy's on the Pier. It has great views of the Gulf of Mexico and the seawall. The seawall was built after the 1900 Galveston storm to protect the city from floods and hurricane surges. There are beaches, shops, hotels, restaurants, and attractions along the seawall. The sidewalk along the seawall is 10.3 miles long and is the longest continuous sidewalk in the United States. There are many historic homes in Galveston, and you can spend an entire day touring many of them. The area around the cruise port is very walkable. We started in the Post Office District. Post Office Street is a charming area with art galleries, restaurants, boutiques, antique shops, and it's also home of the grand 1894 Opera House. Just a couple of blocks over, we're staying at the Tremont House. It is one of the most historic hotels in Galveston, dating back to 1839, which was the same year that Galveston was officially founded. The Star Drugstore is one of our favorite places to eat breakfast. It was a fully operational drugstore in 1917. It had a soda fountain and lunch counter. The Galveston Strand Historic District runs parallel to Harborside, where the cruise ships dock. In the late 1880s, it was dubbed the Wall Street of the South. Today, it is a business district full of historical buildings, shops, bars, and restaurants. Yaga's Cafe and Bar is one of our favorite places to eat. If you only have time to do one thing while you're in Galveston, do this. La King's Confectionery and Ice Cream Parlor is so fun and is the place to go. It is a throwback to the 1920s when people came out and enjoyed a treat and sat around and just enjoyed each other's company.
Hey, we're at La King's in Galveston, Texas. One of the things that Sherri and I love to do is come here. It's very nostalgic. And one of the things we like to get, other than the truffles and the fudge, is the taffy. I've got a gentleman here that wants to talk to you about a little bit about it.
How you doing, guys? My name is Juan Alvarado. Taffy Man is real easy to remember, so I call myself the Taffy Man. But my actual work name, it is Candy Master. Yes, sir. And I do cook the taffy. I cook over 21 flavors. Some of those flavors come and go throughout the seasons. I do have some seasonal flavors right now that are out there right now. It is eggnog and candy corn. Those will be out, and I will bring in the Mardi Gras, we'll bring in the peach, and bring in the mango. As the year goes on, some come out and some go in. But we do have 21 flavors out there that do stay out there all year long. When I cook my taffy, I do put it on the copper pot way over there. It does cook for a certain temperature. Cooking taffy is not actually like cooking over the stove. It is actually more like cooking and baking. You have to be real precise. You can't go over, you can't go under, otherwise you will have trouble throughout the whole process. Now after it comes out of the cooker, I lay it on this flat table right here. This table runs cold water. It lands at about 250 degrees Fahrenheit. It comes out of the table and into the puller at about 150 degrees, and it comes out of the puller at about 100 degrees. Now they're all cooked the same process for every one of them. The difference is that we have different colors and flavors for all our taffy, so I do get to add colors while it's on the puller. Some of them I get to add colors while it's on the cooker. The flavor will be added while it's on the puller. I only add 1 ounce of flavor to every 40-pound batch that I cook. I only have 2 batches that come out that are more than 40 pounds. That is the chocolate and that is the peanut butter. When we make a 40-pound batch for chocolate. We add 3 pounds extra of chocolate, and that's what makes it the 43-pound batch. Same thing with the peanut butter. We add the 3 pounds of peanut butter, and we make a 43-pound batch of peanut butter. Now it does come out of the cooler at 100 degrees. It is, I am on the taffy's time, so to speak. So once I lay it out on the table, I cannot slack. I have to go through the process as quickly as possible. As the season of winter comes in, that cold water that runs through the table gets colder and colder and colder. So it makes my taffy process go a little bit faster.
So you have to be fast.
Has to be faster.
Yeah.
And unlike the summer where we run the cold water, and it is actually just a cold tap water. So if it's 100 degrees outside, we already know how cold water feels coming out of the tap.
Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. Kind of lukewarm. Comes out of the puller. The puller adds air to the taffy, and that's what makes the taffy so fluffy and chewy. I have a puller that is 90 years old. It is all original, except for that stainless steel plate. That stainless steel plate is covering metal that was a little corroded. We didn't want to land taffy on that corroded plate, but it is all original. The chains are still there from 90 years ago. I have a 110-year-old machine right here. This machine cuts and wraps 3,000 pieces out of every 40-pound batch in about 35 to 40 minutes, and that's just on the speed that I have there. I can't speed it up even faster, and I can't make it real slow to make it last a little longer. But the speed that I have now does make it last about 35 minutes. I run it, I feed it, and it comes out in little wraps, little tiny pieces, and those tiny pieces, they are still 100 degrees when they're being wrapped. They cool off on their own as time gets by, and they'll get a little stiffer, a little harder as time gets by. My taffy does have a 6-month shelf life. I guarantee you, if you take some taffy home, it will not last 6 months. It'll last 6 days,
Right.
Maybe 6 hours.
And so people can watch you make this, right?
Yes, they can. They can watch me make it. I don't have a set schedule like I used to have way back when I first started. I used to have a set schedule. We did have it on the internet. It used to be something like 1, 3, 5, and 7. Nowadays it's a little more complex. I do add more colors. I have more time to it. I do have the puller. I do leave it there for a little longer than I used to usual. So my times are different frames now.
Okay.
But I get to predict times. Let's say I land one at 1 o'clock p.m. I know that the next one is going to come out about 3:30. And when people want to know when the next one is coming out, I already have a number in my head to tell them, yes, the next one will be about 3:30. And they'll come back and they'll watch the next one, and so on and so on.
Wow, that's very interesting. I appreciate you explaining that to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
The Shark Shack is one of our top picks for great seafood in Galveston. We finished off our evening back at the Tremont House listening to some great live music. We hope you enjoyed this video. Give us a thumbs up if you found it helpful in planning your next pre-cruise stay in Galveston. Thanks for watching.